In section 219, you're going to be using a series of formulas to do the calculations, and it's really important that you learn how to use your calculator properly in order to get the right answer. So I'm going to go over each type of problem that you have in your homework. So the first one is a compound interest question, and they provide the formula for you in the problem. And in this particular case, we want to find the future value of an investment of $10,000 that's invested for 4 years, interest rate 5%, and first we'll do compounded semi-annual, which means twice a year. So in this particular problem, in part A, the principal is $10,000, the interest rate is 0.05, n is 2, the number of compounding periods per year, and we're doing it for 4 years. So I went ahead and I substituted into the formula. Now I've got the steps typed out there, but I'm going to show you on the calculator how you can do this calculation without actually writing down the intermediate steps. You're going to start right here with this fraction. I'm going to put in 0.05, and I'm going to divide by 2, and then I'm going to add 1. Now I want to raise it to the exponent of 8, and on your calculator you need to figure out where your exponent key is. On this calculator it's this key right here. So I'm going to raise it to the 8th power, and then lastly I'm going to multiply by the principal, which was $10,000. And there's my answer, $12,184, and they want to round it a cent, so 3 cents. And then for part B, it's quarterly, so that's 4, n is 4, you'd substitute in here for n 4. And for part C, it's monthly, so you would substitute in the formula 12 for n. The next kind of problem is a future value problem, or an inflation. So we've got C, which is the value of the item today. We're going to work with a house here that's worth $152,000, and we want to know how much it'll be worth in 16 years if the inflation rate is 5%. So C is $152,000, interest rate 5%, 16 years. Again, substituting into the formula that was provided for me, 152 paren 1 plus the interest rate, and it's going to be raised to the number of years. Again, I'm going to take my calculator, and I'm going to start number of order operations inside the parentheses. So I'm going to go ahead and do 1 plus 0.05, and then I'm going to raise it to the 16th power, and finally I'm going to multiply by the current value of the property, which is $152,000. So the future value at 16 years for this property would be $331,796.94. Actually, this one you round off to the nearest dollars. This will round off to $7.97. All right, the third type of problem here is what's called annual percent yield problem. We want to get the effective interest rate on an investment based on the number of compounding periods in a year. The formula is provided for you. And the interest rate is 0.06 in this problem, and we're going to compound monthly. So again, substituting into the formula, 0.06 for R, number of compounding periods per year, 12. Again, I'm going to pull up my calculator. I'm going to start inside the parenthesis here. So 0.06 divided by 12 plus 1. And then I'm going to raise it to the 12th power. And lastly, last step is subtract 1. And so the effective annual percent yield for this particular question is going to be rounded to 2 decimals and a percent, 6.17%. And the last problem uses the compound interest formula again. And in this case, the student's investing $4,000 in an interest-bearing account, paying 4% compounded semi-annual, so N is 2. And the time period is 10 years. So again, substituting into my formula, bring up my calculator. Again, I'm going to start inside the parentheses with the fraction, 0.04 divided by 2 plus 1. And then I'm going to raise this to the 20th power. And then finally, I'm going to multiply by 4,000. So the student's going to have $59,043.79 at the end of 10 years with compounding of 4% compounded semi-annual. So hopefully this will help you as you work through the problems in section 2.19.